In this video, I'm going to be testing some new makeup for 2024. I've got Surratt foundation, I've got Surratt concealer, I've got YSL mini clutch, I've got Victoria Beckham Kajal liner, and I've got BK Beauty lipsticks. Hello and welcome, or welcome back. Right, I'm going to start with primers actually. I'm going to do a face primer and an eye primer. I'm going to use the Smashbox primerizer for my face. Now I could go without a primer, but at the moment I'm finding that my skin is so textured. I don't know if you can see close up, but it really is incredibly textured, which I'm really not loving at the moment because it just shows up. I mean, obviously this is only when I look in a magnifying mirror, but I can really see all the sort of puckering and texturing of my skin that, I don't know, wasn't there a few months ago, but it is now. I suppose I am getting on for 70, so it's probably not all that surprising. It's nice and milky, this primer. I do like it. My main texture areas are really here, my cheeks. Right, we've got face primer on. Now we're going to apply eye primer. Now I've been testing out a load of eye primers and none of them have quite done the business. Now I've got some very strange eyelids. This eyelid actually isn't too bad. With primer on, eyeshadow tends to stay relatively put. This one is an absolute nightmare because I end up with ridges of eyeshadow in the corner here. Whatever I do, however carefully I pat it on, it just doesn't seem to like it. But this Too Faced is very nice. One of my lovely viewers recommended it. I'm just going to use the doe foot. I mean, you can see it has kind of mattified as soon as it's gone on. But whether it stays like that is another matter because of those really bad creases. And it's weird, you know, because this isn't the side I sleep on. I sleep on this side on the whole. So I don't really know why this side is worse than that side, but who knows. Right, let's pop a bit on here. You can see it doesn't really make much of a difference to the colour of my eyelids. It just hopefully is going to help the eyeshadow that I'm going to apply a bit later adhere and stay put, rather than creasing like mad in this corner in particular. Right, the next thing we're going to do is try the two different Surratt foundations that I was sent in these two little samples. And when I bought the Surratt concealer, they ask you if you want some samples. So of course I said yes, and I've got these two samples here. So what I've got are, and I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can see. So this is the Dewdrop foundation, and I've got it in the shade 5. And I've also got the Surreal Skin Foundation in the shade 4. Now, the interesting thing about this one is normally it comes in a brush applicator. So it's kind of it says it's a primer, a brush and a foundation all in one. Well, obviously this isn't it. I mean, this is the foundation, but it's not a brush. But I thought it'd be fun to try them both, even though we don't actually have the brush version of this. Because let's see what they're like. Having never tried Surratt as a brand at all, don't really know anything about it. I just noticed actually that it's available in Liberty, but I bought it direct from Surratt's website. And of course that takes longer because I'm based in the UK and they're based in the States, but it was probably about 10 days, so not too bad. Right, so this is the Dewdrop in the shade 5. And let's see if we can get some out. I probably won't be able to swatch them for you, so I think you're just going to have to see it on my skin. Oh my God, there's Lord, there's much more than I thought. I just put my whole finger in. Yeah, it's not a bad colour. It's maybe a little bit warm for me, but that's okay. Having said I couldn't swatch it, I've just got a big glob on my hand. And this is the shade 5. Yeah, so it's maybe a little bit warm. And we will do the, I may have overdone this. We will do the pouncing method or the stippling method. Now, while I do this, let me tell you a bit about it. So it comes in 20 shades. It costs £61. It says it's natural, seamless and lightweight. Light to medium coverage, dewy hydrating finish, ideal for everyday wear. Unique delivery system ensures that your complexion receives the optimal amount of coverage each time you apply. Well, like I say, I may have overdone it slightly. Certainly feels very nice going on. I'm rather liking that. What do we think? Not bad. It's not bad as far as texture goes, because like I say, I've been noticing my textures being pretty obvious to me, or pretty in relief, as it were. Okay, that's the Dewdrop, and now we'll try the Surreal Skin. Now this is the one that comes in the brush normally. I will do some check-ins on my phone later just to see how everything's wearing, and I'll update at the end of the video with some text just to tell you how I've got on with it. interesting. It seems to me that this one, which is the Surreal skin, is showing up my texture a little bit more. But let's go over it with a damp beauty sponge just to make sure it's nicely smooth. Well, both feel very nice on the skin. This is definitely a more neutral colour, I would say. This is a bit warmer, but we shall see. I mean, they are both super pricey. In fact, the Surreal skin, the one that comes with the brush on my left side, that's £61 as well. Also comes in 20 shades. And this is medium to full coverage, whereas this one says it's light to medium. I have to say at the moment, the look of the dewdrop on my right side is, I think, better on my skin than the Surreal skin. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Now, the next thing we're going to do is the concealer, because that's really what I was wanting to try. Now, maybe what I should have done is checked what the delivery system, as it were, of the concealer is, because actually it's a very tiny little stick. Look at the size of this. It is actually very wee. And actually, I have to say, this feels a little bit flimsy. Now, this costs £48. I mean, that is a lot of money for a tiny little stick like this, but I suppose it depends how long it lasts, but I don't know. It's full coverage, it has a skin-like finish. Those sound like they should be mutually exclusive, don't they? Skin-like finish and full coverage, but hey-ho. It says it hides under-eye dark circle, and it also hides dark spots and discoloration, which of course a stick will do as opposed to just a regular under-eye concealer. It says it's long-wearing and doesn't crease. I was not expecting for £48 such a tiny amount of product. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll use the BK Beauty brush to shear it out if we can. See if it's going to do the bizzo. Well, it feels quite sticky, I must say. Probably a good colour, because it seems to look a bit brighter than I thought it was going to do when I first swatched it. Actually, do you know what? I think it looks quite nice after all that. What do you think? It's certainly looking brighter and smoother than I was expecting. I really thought it was just going to look cakey and horrible. So we'll see. We'll see. And I'll just do a little bit of judicious damp sponging, as it were, just to even it out a little bit. Okay, well, that's definitely better than I thought. Now we've got to powder, and I have been talking about this Givenchy Prisme Libre powder for a little while, but I haven't actually talked about it on camera. Now, I bought this on my travels. I bought it at Heathrow Airport when I was on my way to the Caribbean, and I have it in the shade number 3, which is Voile Rose. So here it is, comes in a nice box with a lid that screws on. Now, I went a bit overboard recently. I don't know what I did, whether I turned it upside down. So I've actually got loads of powder in the top here, which I need to be very careful of because I don't want it to fall out. So I'm keeping it in there. And what I usually do is I just get the lid, which has already got some powder in it. And I just dip one of these little powder puffs, you know, these that you can get from Amazon, into the lid like this. And then I'm going to go into my under eyes like so, just very carefully. There we are, and I do think it's got great brightening properties, this powder. It says it's a lightweight texture, which it definitely is. It's very, very finely milled. It says it gives a 6-hour luminous finish. Not sure I've tested that, but it certainly gives a really nice mattifying, I think, under eye look without looking too cakey or heavy. Now, I have tested this out a little bit before today, and I have really enjoyed wearing it. And my experience so far is that it doesn't crease, or of course it does crease, but not really badly. This is the under eye that tends to crease more. I think I've got a great big line under here that really attracts powder and product. But this side looks pretty good on the whole, so we'll see how we go. I'm just going to pop some blusher and my eyebrows on, and then we'll get to the eyeshadow. Okay, so we've done eyebrows and blusher, and now we're going in with eyeshadow. And I have got the YSL Mini Clutch in Babylone Rose. It is so beautiful. Now, why have I got this, you may ask? Why have I gone completely mad and spent an absolute fortune? I saw the mini clutches being talked about by my lovely friend Heba, whose channel Heba S I urge you to watch. And she does some great deep dives into luxury products. And she did a few videos, I think a couple of videos on the mini clutches, but also Pampered Wolf talked about this as being one of her favourite products of 2023. Now, Pampered Wolf didn't choose this particular set of shades. I think she had a more neutral look. But when I saw this, and it was the name partly that got me, but look at those beautiful shades, and I'm going to swatch them for you. As you can see, we've got 3 shimmers and a matte, and the matte is the lightest colour. And I'll have everything listed and linked below, of course. And one of the beautiful things about this is the case. I mean, it feels so luxurious. It's got this sort of padded lid, and it feels really solid. And I mean, if I compare this to the Surratt concealer container, it's just not in the hunt. So it is very, very beautiful. And it does come with 2 little applicators here as well, and obviously a little mirror, which is nice. So yes, really, really impressed with the quality of the casing and the product. Now, as I say, I've had a little play about with this, so it's not completely new on today, but I have had to learn how best to use it. And I tried it last night. We went out for dinner and I put it on last night and it seemed to work quite well. Whether I can replicate that today, I don't know, but let's see. So the first thing I'm going to do is use this sort of base colour here, which is the only non-shimmer shade. Now, I have noticed there's quite a bit of fallout, and what I'm going to do is put this on the mobile lid and just above in the crease as well, just as a sort of base colour. You can see it is a little bit rosy, even though it's very neutral. And just bring it up into the crease. I'm trying not to be so quick and impatient when I put eyeshadow on. I always seem to want to rush it for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm trying not to do that. And I'm also trying to hold the brush further down. This is just, I think, a Sephora brush. It's not expensive. I'm just trying to be more gentle, really, in my application. Okay, now what I'm going to do is use my fingers. Now, I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to try and come in as close to you as I can. I have actually zoomed in, but I don't seem to be as close as I would like, but I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this on camera. I'm going to get the deeper shade on my little finger like this. And then I'm going to have to lift up my skin because I just want you to see, so that's the colour there. I just want you to see how wrinkled my skin is and how difficult I find it to put eyeshadow in the corner here to sort of make it stand out a bit, because if I come close here, can you see how wrinkled that skin is? If I went in with a brush, in fact, let me show you. If I went in with a brush, I mean, look how creased that is. It wouldn't get in the creases, would it? It's impossible. It's impossible to get a proper smooth line. Even if I lifted this up, it's still, I don't think, well, it wouldn't be as precise. It's just very, very difficult. So I think a little finger is the way forward. So that's what we're going to do. You can see we've had a bit of fallout there. I'm just going to tidy that up. Right, and now we're going to get one of the shimmer shades, and I think we'll use the lilac-y shade here, because I'm going to put it on the centre of my lid. Kind of come into the corner a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. That is pretty, isn't it? Don't you think? Now, I was going to put some of the lightest shade into the inner corner, but I don't think I will. I think that's fine. I think we'll leave it at that, because we're also going to be putting some eyeliner on. And the eyeliner that we are going to be using is the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal eyeliner in Cocoa. And this is it here. Now, this is a really smart pencil. Again, not super expensive, but not cheap either. It's £30. And what's really good about it is it's got a pencil at one end, but it also has a nice little sponge smudger thing at the other end. Smudger thing, you know what I mean. And it also comes with a sharpener, which is very good. And again, I remember Heather saying this actually. She was comparing this to the Eldridge Glide, which I do really like and have been using a lot. This has the same sort of glideability as it was as the Eldridge, but it has the added bonus of a sharpener, which is a good thing, I think. Right, now I'm not going to tightline. I've sort of gone off doing that. I don't know if it was since my eye operation, but I'm just not enjoying tightlining. But what I'm going to do is try and get this pencil as close to the lash line as I can, as a liner, as it were. I do find it quite difficult not to smudge, so I'm going to be very careful and gentle. I suppose what's different about this as compared to the Eldridge is quite a thick pencil. Oops. I've already made a little boo-boo there. It's very difficult, isn't it? It's quite tricky to get the line as as close as you would like with such a thick, I don't know if you can see how thick that end is. It really is quite stubby. What I'm going to do now is take the sponge end and just shear it out a bit and kind of smooth it. Yes, I think that works. I like it, but I'm not completely convinced about the pencil being rather thick and stubby as opposed to fine, like the Lisa Eldridge. But we'll see how we get on. I think it's a nice product. I really like the colour, cocoa, and it has been lasting quite well for me over the last few days. Right, I'm going to go away and put my mascara on, and then we'll come back and finish off with lipstick. Okay, mascara's on, and I used my trusty YSL Lash Clash, which I absolutely love. Now, I have actually bought the Lisa Eldridge mascara, but I didn't want to try it out today. I wanted to give it a bit of a better go. I only got it a few days ago, and also my lashes are a bit rubbish at the moment. They need lifting, and I go to have them lifted every now and again. They didn't last all that well this last time, but I'm actually going tomorrow. Right, I've outlined my lips, and now we're going to put on lipstick, and I've got two beautiful BK Beauty lipsticks to show you. I have Inner Beauty and Gratitude. Now, I have had these for a few weeks, and I did talk about them in my products that I can't live without video, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen. This is Inner Beauty, and that's Gratitude. So Inner Beauty and Gratitude. I really love the feel of them. It's that satin feel, creaminess that I really have not found in other lipsticks, and also they are quite long lasting. I think we're going to go with Inner Beauty today, so let's apply it. It just feels so beautifully soft on the lips. It just gives that lovely sheen without looking too in your face. I'm not a massive fan of lip gloss. I don't wear lip gloss very often. I'm starting to gravitate towards more satiny lipsticks as opposed to the real mattes, which I have been wearing a lot of lately. There's just something so gorgeous. I mean, yes, I can feel it on my lips, but I don't mind that because it feels like it's moisturizing. These lipsticks contain apricot oil, and they really do feel very nourishing and gorgeous. Right, let's have a bit of a roundup. Right, I've just popped into my bathroom to have a look and see how it looks with natural daylight, and I think the makeup's looking pretty good. In fact, the foundations, both of them, look a lot better than I thought they did when I first applied them. So I think in terms of foundations, very expensive. Not sure that I would go out at this point and buy a full size of either of them, but I do think they're worth considering, and if you're going to buy anything from Surratt and you get offered a sample, it might be worth trying one of them out. I mean, I'd love to see how the brush looks in action. I have seen videos of people using them, but I'm just not sure whether I would want a brush that was an all-in-one, as it were, with the foundation in it. And I have to say that both of the shades, both the 5 and the 4, I think look fine. This is the more neutral side, this was the warmer side, but I think they both work on my skin. And the other thing I am really surprised about, after having had a bit of a moan about the concealer, and I still think that it's overpriced for that tiny little container, but I do think my under eyes are looking pretty good. I mean, of course, it could be the powder as well. But when I applied the concealer with my fingers and just let it sit there for a few moments and then sheared it out, I think it actually worked really well, quite surprisingly. And I will definitely play about with it more. And I am planning to do, by the way, a concealer wear test and comparison. So let me know whether that's something you'd like to see. I have actually gone and bought quite a load of concealers, including the Fenty Beauty one, so I will be doing a video about that. So maybe I'll compare the 2 or 3. We'll work it out anyway. I think I've bought about 5 actually. I was thinking about getting the RMS, and I haven't got that yet. In fact, I haven't got any RMS products. I must get some at some point. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in terms of comparisons, and particularly about concealers. Now, I think the Givenchy Libre powder is absolutely beautiful. I'm really enjoying using it. Mini clutch is absolutely stunning, and I'm definitely going to be using that a lot more. Now, I am thinking about, oh my God, God, it's so expensive. I think it's £74. There's a Tom Ford eyeshadow quad that's just come out, or fairly recently come out, which Michelle Wong talked about, and she did a fantastic smoky eye. I'll link her video down below for you, and I went into Selfridges to try it and see what I thought, and actually it is really, really nice. But can I bear to spend £74? I don't know, and they're not selling it at Sephora, it's only at Selfridges at the moment, and even the cosmetics store that does discounted Tom Fords won't have this because it's too new. So I'm just thinking about it. Let me know in the comments if you've either got it and think I ought to give it a go, or maybe don't bother. And of course the BK Beauty lipsticks. Oh, do you know, I absolutely love them. I've just been wearing them virtually on repeat over the last few days since I got hold of them. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on testing new makeup. Let me know in the comments, have you tried any of these? Are you tempted to try them? Do you think they work on my mature, nearly 70-year-old skin? I'd really love to know your thoughts. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you can't get enough of me and you'd like to know more of my faves and fails, not just in beauty, but also in fashion, music, books, podcasts, and all the other bits and bobs that make our lives worthwhile, then I have a monthly newsletter, and the link to subscribe to it will be in the description box below. And of course, it's completely free. And I will pop up a couple of videos that you might like to watch if you've got time. And I thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I really hope you're doing well. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.